Hello, everyone. Yours truly, Frank Morano here. It's the first time I'm using this sort of a format, so just give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me okay. I do want to talk to you about a very serious issue, which is the fact that an innocent 76-year-old New Yorker is dead after being shoved down subway stairs by a man who had been released from psychiatric evaluation just hours earlier. And if you're angry about this, you should be, because this wasn't random. It was not unavoidable, in spite of how some have characterized this. And it wasn't unforeseeable. This was something that was totally preventable. According to reports, police encountered this individual earlier in the day while he was behaving erratically. They intervened, they brought him to Bellevue Hospital for psychiatric evaluation. The system had custody of this person, and then the system let him go. Hours later, an innocent retired teacher was dead at the bottom of a subway staircase. And honestly, this story has been bothering me because it perfectly captures what so many New Yorkers have been feeling for years now. There is this constant low grade anxiety that has become part of daily life in the city. People step onto the subway platform and instinctively look around. Who's unstable? Who's acting erratically? Who might snap? Should I move to another train car? Should I stand farther from the tracks? Should I avoid eye contact? When I got to talk with Daniel Penny about his situation, this was a big part of what we spoke about. And this isn't normal. This is not how people are supposed to live in one of the greatest cities in the world. And yet, over the last several years, too many people in leadership positions have tried to minimize what New Yorkers can clearly see with their own eyes. They tell us these incidents are rare. They tell us not to overreact. They tell us the system's working. Meanwhile, innocent people continue getting attacked, shoved onto tracks, slashed, punched, robbed, or killed in public spaces. At some point, we have to be honest about what's happening. We have created a revolving door system where severely mentally ill, violence-prone individuals cycle endlessly between the streets, shelters, emergency rooms, jails, and the subway system without ever getting meaningful intervention. And let me be very clear about something. I'm not saying every mentally ill person is dangerous. Obviously, that's not the case. Most aren't violent. But when somebody repeatedly demonstrates dangerous, erratic, threatening behavior, society has an obligation to intervene before tragedy happens, not afterwards. And this is where I think a lot of people have lost confidence in the system. I know I have, because what exactly are New Yorkers supposed to think when police do their job, bring somebody in for evaluation, and hours later, that same individual allegedly murders someone? How many warning signs are enough? How many arrests are enough? How many psychiatric episodes are enough? How many innocent victims are enough? What makes this especially frustrating is that this isn't some impossible pattern that no society has ever figured out. I don't mean to laugh, but it's laughable. Other major cities around the world don't tolerate this level of chaos in public spaces. They intervene earlier. They separate dangerous individuals from the general public, and they make serious decisions before people die. Here in New York, too often we confuse abandonment with compassion. Leaving somebody severely mentally ill to deteriorate publicly until they hurt themselves or someone else isn't humane. It's not compassionate. This is neglect masquerading as compassion. And the tragic reality is that everybody loses under this system. The public loses because innocent people become victims. Police officers lose because they repeatedly watch dangerous individuals released right back onto the streets. And frankly, the mentally ill themselves lose because they're denied the structure, supervision, and treatment that many of them clearly need. Now, look, I understand there are civil liberties concerns. I understand there are legal complexities. I understand there were all sorts of abuses in the institutional systems decades ago. I come from Staten Island, of Willowbrook fame. But we have swung so far in the opposite direction that many New Yorkers no longer feel safe performing ordinary daily activities like riding the subway or walking down the street. And that's unacceptable. And leadership should matter here. I don't think we should be looking to score partisan points. I'm not trying to demonize vulnerable people or make people afraid. I'm not into that kind of fear mongering. All I want to do is have some acknowledgement of reality. And I'd like New York City to start acting responsibly. New Yorkers deserve more than condolences after another horrific tragedy. We deserve a serious plan, a plan that protects the public while also ensuring that severely mentally ill individuals receive real supervision, intervention, and treatment before somebody else winds up dead. Because if we continue accepting this as simply the cost of living in New York City, it won't stop. And unfortunately, more innocent people will pay the price. Let me know what you think. Share this if you think it's worth it. Comment as you see fit. Thank you.